Who's that knocking on my door? Can't see no one right now. Got my baby here by me, can't stop to go, not now. Oh, come a little closer to my breast. I'll tell you that you are the one I really love the best, and you don't have to worry about any of the rest. Everything's fine right now.
No, can you come to, no, stay there, Molly, stay there. Penny, can you just come and do that in front of me here so I can see what you'll take a picture of?
We've got a guest coming on now. She hasn't been in London for 42 years. And she's flown over from the States to take part in a documentary about her husband. I've heard the name Davey Graham mentioned quite a lot tonight, and for good reason. And I loved Davey Graham, but she really loved Davey Graham, and she loved him so much that she married him. And they made a couple of albums together. They lived together in Camden Town, and it gives me great personal pleasure to welcome the lovely Holly Gwinn Graham.
I'm absolutely honored to be on the stage with such lovely players at this beautiful venue, and it's all thanks to my Facebook friend here, James Walton Ingham, among others, Stephen Gammond, the filmmaker who's doing the documentary, his fabulous cook wife Penny, who's also in art, and I'm so grateful that Wizz made the time for me to be on the bill. You'll hear my picking, oh, every bit as good as those guys, yeah. So, as I used to say, I guess the old tailor used to say, never mind the quality, feel the width. I'm glad you like jokes. Davey loved jokes. He had so many jokes. It was so wonderful. And he would call me up. We were married for 24 years. Wow. But we stayed together for 3.5. And the last place we lived was beautiful little Sandwich. And Stephen took me there yesterday. It was sunny and beautiful. I saw an old friends, and boy, walk down memory lane. That was incredible. In Davey's early career, as you know, Paul Simon, the wonderful avatar of music in America, recorded Davey's song called Angie, and it became the Pickers' anthem of the 60s. And wherever you went, across America too, if you could pick, you were supposed to pick Angie. I'm not picking Angie for you tonight. No. But I was requested to do a song that is on our first album, when I had a lot of vibrato like Nana Masuri. I was raised in America, which is Joan Baez country, okay? And here you had the lovely Sandy Denny, who was my friend, flute-like voices, you know, Maddie Pryor, June Tabor. And I had to conquer my vibrato. Davey said, Holly, save the vibrato to the end of the line. Please. He also said, if you're going to speak the language, you might as well speak it properly. I have ever since. So let me get this So this is a song that Davey and I recorded on our first album together. He fell in love with me on Guy Fawkes Day, and we moved in together in early spring of 1971. In Camden Town, or maybe it was 70, I can't remember. No, it was lovely. And so this is a song that we recorded of Paul Simon's. Let's see, make sure. And I think it was oddly prophetic, you know. I think Davey, for all his foibles and all the strange things that he could do that people might remember of him, deep down and most importantly why he's loved today isn't just because he made great inroads in music, but because he was a genuinely loving and beautiful person. And he conquered quite a lot of problems that you and I might have a much harder time conquering. Things we didn't have words for in those days that now we might understand, about emotional problems and things like that. So he was very brave, and he was truly a lovely person to be with. He was a gentleman and a scholar. Together we read Ouspensky, we read Gurdjieff. he trained me in all kinds of languages. We conjugated French verbs in bed. It was exciting. I never did get very good, but they laughed at me in France. They said, "You're saying I speak a little Frenchman." Oh, why are you doing this little guitar? Let's figure this out. So, good thing I'm glib, which is what his mother called me. There, that's the one. Anyhow, so I'm going to sing and play for you. Flowers Never Bend with the Rain Pole, and then I'm going to do one of mine. Oh, play, Holly, play. Through the corridors of sleep, past the shadows dark and deep, my mind dances and leaps in confusion. I don't know what is real, I can't touch what I feel, and I hide behind the shield of my illusion. So I continue to pretend my life will never end, and flowers never bend with the rainfall. Mirror on my wall casts an image dark and small, but I'm not sure at all it's my reflection, 'cause I am blinded by the light of God and truth and right, and I wander in the night without direction. So I continue to pretend my life will never end, and flowers never bend with rainfall. No matter if you're born to play the king or pawn, the line is thinly drawn between joy and sorrow. And so my fantasy becomes reality. I must be what I must be and face tomorrow. So I continue to pretend my life will never end, and flowers never bend with rainfall. All right, everybody sing that with me from that part. So I continue to pretend my life will never end, and flowers never bend with rainfall. Thank you. I used to, you sounded good. This was very good. I loved that. I used to love living here. I'd listen to Just a Minute. You know, I'm a big fan of radio because of England. I was here in the enchanted pre-Margaret Thatcher years, 68 to the end of 73. And Davey was my mentor, my lover, my menace, and my friend, and I was lucky. And Sandy Denny was another dear friend of mine. You know, these people have left the planet. I think it's quite unfair, but I hope we are all reunited, you know, somewhere. I hope the things we love keep us together, and that we see each other down the road, you know. But this next song is kind of like Dizz's and Wizz's. I'm so impressed with Wizz Jones.
Yeah.
I've never seen him before, heard him. Who knew I could be so ignorant and still live in America? Shocking, ain't it? So, I've got my wit. If you find me funny, it's because of Frank Muir, let's be honest. I think he's grand. He's gone too. They all go sooner or later. What's wrong? I'm not such a bad tomato. All right, so this song is called I Like You People. You know, one of Davey's things that he did was play with his fingers. He didn't use picks. And I noticed Wizz does that too. He plays with his fingers, and so does Darius, the great, wonderful young man. So this is a song I wrote around 1986. It's on an album you can buy online. And it's on my album called True Stories and Cautionary Tales. Another British thing, you know. Hilaire Belloc, who knew? I was born in old Chicago. We lived out on the lake. My mama was an artist. My daddy was a rake. And my mama finally left him when I was only 2. She got a job and saw us through. You know my mama sang me love songs. All the songs were true. Oh, but somehow I know my daddy sang the blues. I don't know why he had to do it, but he planted seeds and split, leaving a little one behind that never got over it. I had not seen my father since I was nearly 5. Would I even recognize him? Was he dead or alive? Oh, I know my mama's love songs are songs I use, but somehow I know my daddy sang the blues. My papa got remarried. He moved in with his new wife. Mom took me down to Florida. We started a brand new life. Now I knew that I had a half-brother somewhere that I'd hardly ever seen, and I had a daddy too, and I used to think, did they ever think about me? Because those pretty love songs Mama hoped I'd use, still somehow nothing does it for me like the blues. And it's strange but true that when you grow up without your father around, little girl grows up without her brother. You learn about men from the lovers that you found, and it's hard to tell the good guys from the others. Oh mama, all those love songs you know I'll do, but somehow I know Papa sang the blues. Mama raised me solo, worked until the day she died, and I held her as she passed away, and all alone I cried. Now she didn't like him when I asked about him then. Oh, Mama's gone to heaven now, and I can't remember when. She sang me all those sweet love songs, all the ones I knew, and oh Mama, 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 sometimes I'm just missing you. Well, I had a little girl of my own. I named her Jess. Everybody mispronounced it, so now I just call her Jess. We were traveling through Chicago. It was a holiday train. I said, hey, I'm going to look up Gwinn in the phone book and see if someone answers. Try it again, and to my surprise, Daddy's second wife answered, and I heard her say, well, honey, I'm sorry, but in 1979, you know, your daddy passed away. Oh, Papa. I got back on that train, and I cried for you. Ah, but you know, somehow I know my daddy sang, my daddy sang, my daddy sang the blues. There we go. Thanks, Wizz.
Very well done.
Thank you, Holly.